Okay, I thought I heard a motion.
And we're now recording, and I'm going live on Facebook now.
Okay, with
Thank you.
regard to item 6.5, a resolution to approve this, the policy as set forth in the policy memorandum dated July 21st, 2020. May I have a motion and a second, please?
I like the memorandum. I'll make a motion.
I'll second the
Second.
motion for discussion.
Okay, discussion, please.
The first thing that I'm just reading this now, but the first thing that jumps out to me that is problematical is the very last paragraph. Call the Rye Police Department when and if faced with resistance to park directives. The police should backstop the staff, and I'm sure they will backstop the staff, but I think it's also appropriate and given Rye Police time, important that the park guest that is disobeying direction be warned that police will be called and be given an opportunity to conform their conduct. Otherwise, I'm concerned that the police will be called in too many circumstances and circumstances when they're—
Josh, that is in the paragraph up above, which 1, 2, 3, 4. Staff shall advise any group deemed to be violating the rules that the group must separate or wear masks, and shall warn the group that the police may be called if the directive is not followed.
I got a question on the memo. When you say staff, are you talking about a park ranger? I would think that somewhere, if staff has created a problem, that the director should be first called, and then there he makes the decision whether or not he needs to call the Rye Police Department. Because you have a young or kid on a beach with a confrontation, I think he should report to his, let me just finish.
Well,
Report to his supervisor. His
We
supervisor
have
evaluates
previously-
it and then makes the decision.
Fritz,
Yes.
we have previously, months ago, determined the order, who may call the police. And it is not any staff. It is the
Well,
park
that's confusing.
director, the
See, I
assistant
thought a
park
ranger could
director.
call. I thought a ranger with a radio could, again, I'm
Or
trying to
the
figure this out, so I'm
Not
looking
any-
for
not any
clarification.
ranger, the ranger in chief.
I'm looking for
Security
clarification,
captain.
Gary.
This
I'm looking-
policy, I'm sorry, this policy does not change the change of command.
All right, again, I would assume staff, if you're referring to any person who's on our staff, a ranger
Another
on the
meeting after
beach,
this.
a ranger on the beach has a situation that he can't handle. Again, take me through this. His procedure then is to,
Call the supervisor.
okay, I think it should be spelled out because I was confused on what you had to do. I'm sorry.
The
I'm from the old school.
the staff is entirely clear on the chain of command.
Well, it should be in our, well, I'm not, and I'm a commissioner. I think it should be in the regulations.
All right.
It's
Excuse
a
me.
simple wording. Staff contacts the
Wait,
director
wait.
who make the
Fritz,
decision.
Fritz, let me change the wording.
Please, it's a simple amendment. I like it. I like the whole agreement.
Fritz, can I
But
make
you
the
got to be more
amendment?
specific and clear.
Can I make the amendment?
You please can.
Okay.
Please do.
Avoid personal confrontation and the appropriate supervising, what do we call it? And
Supervisor.
the appropriate
Director,
supervisor shall,
supervisor, whatever you call them,
and the appropriate supervisor shall call the Rye Police Department.
if deemed necessary.
Can we add something? And Fritz, you're right on that one. Can we also add public address announcements to be made on a regular basis? We do have a public address system out there, right? We do have the ability to announce things if we need to, Debbie?
That's currently being done, Benny.
I know, but do we have that as a policy, or is that just done because people?
It's been a policy since the beginning of the year.
Can we reinforce that regular announcements, public information announcements shall be made on the public address system? And the thing about, I'm not a fan of ambiguity because ambiguity runs into problems. The in-person beach patrol on a regular basis is a bit vague and it's non-specific. If I just want to reinforce that as a commission, we will provide whatever staff needs to be as proactive as possible, and that means the additional expense if needed for personnel and equipment and whatever
Danny, I don't
PPE
think,
they need.
I
No,
don't
what I'm
think
trying to
all
say
that
is that we shouldn't limit. I don't want to work
I
back.
don't think all that needs to be in a resolution.
No. I'm the only thing the
we're dealing,
resolution says-
we're dealing in the policy. We know what the policy is. They do make announcements. We can add that. But this,
Do they read? Do they have a
think,
statement that they read? Because that would
Pardon?
be a little easy. Is there a written statement that somebody just reads and it's the same statement? Because that would be good. If somebody, Debbie, if you or Russ or somebody put together a statement that is read, the same statement is read over the public system.
Yes,
That just reinforces everything.
that's already posted, and we read from a script. Yes, Benny.
Thank you. Can we circulate that so we all know what's being said out there?
I'm sorry. I missed that. What you asked?
Russ, thank you very much. The scripted, something is scripted already for people to read. If we could just see that, because we just like to know what people are hearing on the loudspeaker. You don't have to show it to me now, Russ. You can circulate that in an email.
Yeah.
I'm sure there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can. We'll put that in writing for you. I'll get it to Debbie. We'll put it in writing for you.
by the way, we have
This policy.
we have five minutes left. Benny has a meeting. I have a very important Rye Town Council meeting that starts at 7:30.
And I like to have supper.
The prior version, Gary, yours provided for patrols hourly with at least 2 people. That doesn't seem to be here.
I know, it was taken out purposely because what happens if they can't do it hourly? What happens if they're 10 minutes late? What happens if there's another incident? Or God knows what happens. To say regularly, I would leave it up to the staff where we suggest hourly is appropriate and leave it up to the park director to enforce that with the rangers.
I would differ. I think we can put in there, we would expect hourly or aspirationally hourly, and make sure that regular doesn't mean twice a day.
Yeah, and I would probably just say you can reinforce that by saying you can say hourly or as what's the term, Jeff? I need a legal term for that. When you're the expectation of an hourly
on or about each hour.
The one thing we want to do here is not micromanage this here. To Gary's point, if the Rangers are dealing with a fight or they're dealing with something else and they miss it, or they're 15 or 20 minutes late, or one of them is dealing with a medical concern on the other end of the beach, we don't want to put them in a position to say, uh-oh, I better get back because I got to do my hourly patrol. We have to give them a little bit of latitude here, guys.
Absolutely.
And they have to be able to do their job.
Guys,
they're hired.
I trust the staff to do what's right. I think this policy here is a good policy. I would like to pass it. If there are further suggestions that the commissioners would like to modify, and I know, Josh, you have a lot of suggestions. I agree that you are not satisfied with this. It doesn't go far enough, but it does go a lot further than we have ever been. And one of the rules I like to follow in my life and in doing these things is don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I think this is good. I'd like to pass it. And we can revisit it either in a special meeting or at the next monthly meeting. We could see how it goes. And all of the commissioners are invited to the beach at any time to observe what's going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
Gary,
obviously, Josh, you go to the beach, I go to the beach.
Gary, we're not going to stand around and wait to watch patrols. I suggest that if you don't want to say on or about hourly, and I think we would all understand if there were emergency circumstances, then let's say that the rangers shall keep a log, and the log shall be available to the commission, and then we'll know when there were patrols.
How about saying hourly or practicable or reasonable or practicable on or about an hourly basis or that which is practical.
As reasonably, hourly as reasonably practicable. I think that would work for me.
Because extenuating circumstances notwithstanding.
Yep.
I don't know that we need that last one, Benny. I think,
No. That was my
I
own.
think that, Josh, I think
Extemporaneous.
your wording on a regular basis, comma, hourly if possible, comma,
Patrols on a regular basis.
hourly if possible.
Now, that
Hourly-
leads us to the
As practicable.
to a question of staff adequacy. I'd just like
If
to
the
make sure that
staff-
there's
If the
staff to do
staff
this.
is not adequate, then it'll be up to the park director and the security director. And if it comes to cashiers,
Yeah.
the head cashier, to say, we need more people, and we will give them more people.
Hire them, yes.
If Russ needs 10 more rangers, we'll hire 10 more rangers.
Absolutely. Shortcuts.
Okay? It's 7:30. I'd like somebody to call the question and let's take a vote, please. We can revisit it again. We can revisit it by email. Will somebody call the question?
You mean make a motion?
What does
Motion
that
and
mean?
second
You
are
gotta call the
made.
roll.
The discussion is had. Okay?
Paul.
Okay, may we have a vote, please? A vote on resolution to make this,
Adoption of the
Adoption.
to put this
The
policy
adoption of the
into
policy.
effect.
I make a motion to adopt the policy.
We did that already.
We
Well,
did that.
I
Call the roll.
I'm sorry, Benny, somebody called me right when you was calling, asking for motions.
We have a
We-
motion and a second.
Okay,
Just need a
Call the roll.
please, Debbie,
As amended.
as
yes,
amended.
as amended,
Commissioner Falanka,
yes.
Commissioner Salanitro,
Yes.
Commissioner Hurd,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosenberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Cohn,
Yes.
President Zuckerman.
Yes. Thank you all. The management report is in the package. So unless Russ has something to add to that, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I don't have anything to add, but I just encourage you that anybody who reads the management report and has any questions, please feel free to email me.
Thank you.
Russ,
I make a
good
motion.
job. Tell all the guys, thank you for all their hard work, Russ. Thank you.
I make a
Russ,
motion.
thank you.
Thanks, Russ.
Okay. All in favor?
All
Aye.
right.
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Have a good
Be-
night.
Stay safe.
Yep.
Night.